I Know My Soul by Claude Mckay, 1890 to 1948. I plucked my soul out of its secret place and held it to the mirror of my eye to see it like a star against the sky. A twitching body quivering in space, a spark of passion shining on my face, and I explored it to determine why. This awful key to my infinity conspires to rob me of sweet joy and grace, and if the sign may not be fully read, if I can comprehend but not control, I need not gloom my days with futile dread, because I see a part and not the whole. Contemplating the strange, I'm comforted by this narcotic thought. I know my soul. Okay, so this is a poem by Claude Mckay. Okay, Claude Mckay was born in Jamaica, and he was brought up there. And I think when he was in his early 20s, he went to university in the United States. Let's see, he was well known as a member of the Harlem Renaissance, and his views were quite left wing. He travelled quite widely. I think he went to Morocco, he's been to Paris, he's been to the United Kingdom. He spent some time in Russia, and two of his books were published in Russian. He worked with a Russian to publish two of his books, and those were later translated back into English. So, I Know My Soul. What's this about? Okay, this is about self-examination, self-reflection. This is encouraging people to get in touch with themselves, to analyze who they really are, why they do things, the motivations in their life. And I think the mood of this poem is really quite positive. Okay, so I think he uses imagery and he uses metaphors as well. So let's just look at it. I plucked my soul out of its secret place and held it to the mirror of my eye. So I plucked, I picked, I took my soul out of its secret place and held it to the mirror of my eye. So this here to start with is a very nice metaphor, saying he started examining his soul, examining his motivation for doing things, wondering about itself, and I think the soul here is talking about his innermost desires. And he held it up like a mirror to in the mirror of his eye. So he's looking at it. I like this phrase, mirror of my eye. To see it like a star against the sky. So here I think this is a simile, to look at my soul as if it were a star in the sky and examine it and try and think about it. Although maybe it's something very difficult to look at or to understand. A twitching body quivering in space, a spark of passion shining on my face, and I explored it to determine why. Okay, so this quivering, this twitching body quivering, trembling in space. This is talking about his soul, and I think this is implying that he's rather reluctant to examine his soul. I think self-examination is a thing that most people are a bit afraid of doing. And I think the next bit, a spark of passion shining on my face. So I think here he's thinking about why he does bad things. There's a desire to do something that is shining on his face, and he's wondering why. He's wondering about his flaws. He's trying to expose his flaws, and here I think he's asking why I have desires to do bad things. The awful key to my infinity conspires to rob me of sweet joy and grace. So firstly, look at this awful key to my infinity. There's an internal rhyme here. So I think this key to my infinity, the soul is the key to the afterlife. I think this infinity, the life the life after death, and the nature of my soul, this awful key, a key element, is trying to rob me of sweet joy and grace. I think this is to the bad things that he wants to do in this life are trying to take away from him the possibility of the afterlife, of a wonderful afterlife and going to heaven and eternal life. And if the sign may not be fully read, if I can comprehend but not control, I need not gloom my days with futile dread, because I see a part and not the whole. So notice, read, dread, control, whole. Okay, so I think if the sign may not be fully read, if this is something that I can't understand, I think he's resigning himself to the fact that he's not going to fully understand why he has these passions and desires to do things, to do evil things or to do wrong things. And if I can at least understand why I want to do these things, maybe I can control them or maybe I can't. I have to accept that there are things in this life that are beyond control, beyond my control. I need not gloom my days with futile dread. So I mustn't be really worried that I'm going to hell because I want to do bad things, or even that I do them. Okay, so he's accepting that there are things in his soul that he will never be able to fully understand. And maybe that's the nature of a person's soul, that there are some things that drive us to act in one way or another, and at least maybe I can understand a bit of it, but I can't control my nature. Then I needn't worry, needn't gloom my days, needn't be depressed about my days with useless fear, because I see a part and not the whole. So I can see a part of why I do things, but not the whole thing. I'm not God. I think God sees the whole, and I'm just a part of the scheme of life, or part of God's creation. And if I can understand a little bit of my part in this, even though I don't control my destiny or my fate, then I needn't be afraid. Contemplating the strange, I'm comforted by this narcotic thought. I know my soul. So by contemplating and thinking about my soul and thinking as to my reasons and motivations for doing things, the reasons that I want to do wrong, I'm trying to make myself a better person. And by examining myself, then I needn't worry about going to hell, because I'm trying my best to improve and make me a good person. Yeah? And by this narcotic thought, so this thought that is addictive to him, I know my soul. So clearly he's saying we need to examine our souls, examine our nature, and examine why we do things, and to constantly try to understand and improve the way we act by understanding ourselves. So there you go. Quite a deep poem, really. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. I Know My Soul by Claude Mckay.